You've actually named your place. What is this backyard?
Oh, this is called the Finch Farmlet.
Where you guys were in the newspaper and you actually had a tour here, right?
We did. We had 343 people come through checking the place out. They love the pond.
So these are my buddies.
I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. It's all about showcasing how people live the aquascape lifestyle, even down under in Australia. We're here with Patrick Handley, our distributor down here, and also a builder for about 14 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and Brian Helfrich, my top lieutenant back in Chicago. And who are we going to go see?
Warwick and Christine Finch.
And you built this pond a year and a half ago.
About a year and a half. Couldn't find anyone local.
Let's go see it. What was the original idea behind having a pond?
It was because I've always liked water feature. I just felt it adds a softness to the landscape and a degree of nature. And I liked fish as well. And at the time we didn't really know much about water features and waterscapes and that sort of thing.
Right.
And so we had a small pond with a little creek bed. It was really nice, but it wasn't. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't the sort of expertise that there is now. And after about 10 or 12 years, the lining started to crack and break down.
Well, and the fish got bigger.
The fish got bigger.
You said you started to feel bad for them in a little tank.
Well, they get squished down into the water that deep.
Yep.
And they started breeding, and so we thought, right, we've got to do something about this. Our kids had left home, and this space actually originally used to be a lawn, but in Australia, lawns are really...
taboo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Grass is the largest agricultural crop in the world and it's the least environmentally friendly.
Yep, absolutely. We've kept one small patch of lawn up the top just to remind us of our childhood, basically. The design actually evolved as the pond was going in, because, you know, we made some changes as we moved the...
Of course, yeah. Well, that's why we don't do drawings for people, because the rocks speak to you.
Yep.
What would you tell people that think water features are a lot of work?
Oh, they're not, because Warwick does the maintenance. And you don't have to spend much time doing anything.
No, not really.
The bigger the pond, the less maintenance you've got.
That is true. It's also counterintuitive.
I do more in here than I perhaps need to just because I love it.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
It's a hobby. In terms of what you have to do, keep them fed, clean the filters out once in a little while, and the occasional water change. There's just not that much that you need to do.
It's actually less maintenance than the regular maintenance of a lawn.
Yeah, yes, absolutely, I would agree. And it looks so much more beautiful.
So initially it was a request from Warwick and Christine.
Yes.
For an upgrade for their koi. Their koi were in pretty confined conditions. Had a look at their fish and said, yeah, we've got to do something about it. We've got to do something, give them a good habitat, give them some more depth. It was pretty dire, wasn't it, Christine?
So they had a pond here for 15 years, and the fish were outgrowing it, so you came in to make it bigger. How did you go through the design process?
So we took into account the kitchen, the changes that were going to happen to the sitting area. That was the main focus. When you do this, you come and say, okay, where's the living going to be from? And so we created like a wider waterfall in this design just for that effect.
Yep.
So you see it from back further. It's really nice lighting in this too, isn't there? How's that lighting going?
Yeah. It's just a whole different experience at night, isn't it?
It does. It comes alive, and it means you can keep enjoying it for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So we had to build this. We actually had to come through that fence. Those panels weren't there at the time. We had to take a fence down. We had to come through. We had to build it from waterfall down, which takes a bit longer to do. It's a bit harder to do. You've got to bring the rock in.
Because the access point was over here, so you couldn't dig up a hole and then still get over here.
Over the top of it, yeah. So we started from this end. We had to create a berm up here, create some height, because you need a bit of height in this, especially up from where you're sitting.
I love the little stepping stones over to the deck. It draws you over it. So how many liters is this pond?
About 5,000 to 6,000 litres.
So much bigger than what they had here before.
You would have had probably 1,500, 1,500, probably had 3 times.
Right.
As much.
And some of those fish are 15 years old and the other ones were born in here, huh? I love the whole design. I love the backdrop here so you don't see the neighbor's house. And then you even have a little pergola up here, and you added this when you did the pond?
And that was the long time ago.
You said it used to be a hot tub up there.
Yep, now it's just a little gazebo.
So I'm imagining the hot tub was too much work, unlike the pond, which is a ecosystem. How many people have hot tubs and don't worry about the maintenance, and yet a recreation or an aquascape ecosystem water feature like this one is actually less maintenance because you're not trying to fight Mother Nature with chemicals, you're working with Mother Nature with bacteria. The plants here are just amazing. It's only been in for what now, a year and a half?
Year and a half.
Yeah, it looks like it's always been here. I love this pitcher plant. Unbelievable, and it's even flowering right now.
Never seen this do well in Australia, yeah. And they don't do the same
It
thing.
does spectacular, spectacular fish. And then I love the little art decorations. Awesome dragonfly, porcupine, and even the ants. Why do you enjoy doing stuff like this, buddy?
Well, one, it changed my life, and then what I enjoy about it is it changes people's lives. It really does. I mean, to see how they react once you build something of beauty and bring it out of nature into their backyard is something that just resonates inside.
So let me give him a bit of a cuddle, a bit of a pat.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? This is a hobby. Warwick and Chris love it. Their entire backyard. It's not a very big yard, but it feels so much bigger because there's so many spaces created with the landscaping. More people need to live the aquascape lifestyle, whether you're in America, Canada, Australia, anywhere in the world, because this is what people should be doing in their yards instead of just boring traditional grass. What an awesome property to visit. What a fantastic thing. And this is why I actually love my job, experiencing things like this.
This downpipe here, that's connected to the roof. So whenever it rains, it tops up this pond.
Thing in Australia, because we do get, although our rainfall's sort of not full on all the time, but you do get big downpours, and if you have a pond, especially in clay soils,
Yeah, it won't drain.
You will get it floating in, it'll push huge rocks.
And we are pulling up to, is this a front yard pond, Ben?
Yeah, it's a front yard pond. We're in Don Vale.
Which is a suburb of Melbourne, right?
Yep, certainly is.
There it is right there. I can see it. It's like at the end of the carport, right?
Yes.
This is Ben Harris Gardens, and it's already got some blooming lilies I see, Ben.
Yep.
Just
really good.
Just spectacular. How long has this pond been in?
Over a year.
Okay. It's a beautiful, healthy, full functioning ecosystem pond. You got a mechanical skimmer here. Explain to us how that works.
The pump sits in there, so it's pulling the water in. It's pulling, you can see the surface of the water so clean and
Yes.
clear.
Mm-hmm.
It's skimming everything off the surface. You can see the skimming action in here. Underneath there is a pump, so the pump's actually pulling it out. But,
Yep.
if we can clean a skimmer out quite easily.
Yep.
You can see you just empty it out.
Yep. You have an automatic dosing system here.
Yeah, so that's adding bacteria.
So people always ask how the ponds stay so clear, and it's because they're healthy, functioning ecosystems.
Yeah.
Mechanical filtration to use to take care of the leaves and surface debris. Biological filter, so you got a biofalls up there sunken at the head of the stream.
That's very top.
Let's go check that out. Rocks and gravel throughout, fish, plants, and look at that water quality when you actually design it correctly. I mean, there's some reflections in here, but it is absolutely beautiful. Okay, nice little stream. I love that little sound that we've got. Japanese maple.
The biggest mistake a lot of new guys doing this, setting that biofall is too high. They think the waterfall has to be 3 foot, 4 foot high to get the effect that they're looking for. And this stream has an amazing effect, and the biofalls is actually sunk all the way down into the ground.
Yep.
So rather than the biofalls actually starting off a waterfall, it has more of the spring look to it. So water's actually kind of risen up out of that area and given the stream more of a spring-fed appearance than a gushing waterfall out of the top.
So you probably have a 10-inch drop from the top of the water to where the stream comes out. There's probably total of, 10 inches, would you say?
Absolutely, yeah. It hardly needs anything. You can hear the sound just from that height. You don't need a huge waterfall to get any sound at all. You I could even have something less than that and still get nice sound.
Yes.
I think the other thing I'm noticing with a lot of Ben stuff that we like to do back home with the landscape is bring some height in the foreground. Makes it feel more intimate, a lot more tranquil.
Ben, what are you showing Brian here?
Just demonstrating how underneath this pond there's subsurface drainage because we had to build this on shale. So we were worried that if water gets underneath, it's got nowhere to go and it will start to billow up. So I made sure that there is a way for the water to get out into the stormwater system.
And it's little things like this, Patrick, that are the difference between a guy that can come out and build a pond for 10,000, that's going to leak, turn green, breed mosquitoes, bubble up when you have overflow of water, and a guy that does the little things. I didn't even know that was there until you started to show Brian, but that's what a competent contractor can do with a water feature.
It's longevity in design.
And so many times when we're comparing our pricing, it's an apples and oranges thing. Oh, I can build a pond, yeah, but can you build a pond that looks like this, for one, because you're hiring an artist, and then not only you're hiring an artist, but you're hiring a technician that knows the little things that if you don't do correctly will cause a major, major disaster. So another beautiful water feature, and it's beautiful not just because of how it is built aesthetically, but also constructed. It's so frustrating for me running this channel and running the company to see people build ponds done wrong, which is why we started the Team Aquascape page, so that people could really understand the proper way to build an aquascape ecosystem pond. If you like what you see here, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Team Aquascape link so that you can see what living the aquascape lifestyle is and what building it looks like. I love my job.